Okay, for today, we're going to learn coordinate geometry. So, coordinate geometry, there's two main things that you have to learn, right? Which is the straight line. Of course, the y equal to mx plus c, if you remember, right? But there's different equation now. And also the area of polygons and equation of loci. But we're not going to cover this today because this one is another topic, right? But for now, the main important thing is the straight line. So, you have to know there's the formula. Of course, this formula. It look confusing, right? But it's very simple. All you need to know what is m, what is n. M and n, right, is actually the ratio. If you have a straight line, okay, if you have a straight line. Now imagine they cut it in half. They cut it in half. Uh-huh. So there is a ratio. This is 1 to 1. Right. But imagine you cut it 1/3 of it. 1/3 of it. So the ratio will be 1 to 3. Just think like common sense, right? So there will be ratio involved in the straight line. So that's how this topic will be covered. Okay, it's mainly about ratio. So look at this straight line here, right? Look at this straight line here. You can see we have this formula here, right? It look confusing, right? But it's very simple. And if you pay attention, the formula have comma. It's not plus, it's comma. That means it is the same form as a coordinate. Look, there is a comma. There's a comma in between. So that means this thing is a coordinate, okay? So yeah, that's why I equal into a coordinate. So let's use an example here, right? So there's a straight line, and you can try using this equation. By the way, this equation is to find the the line divisor coordinate. To find this coordinate, the thing that divide the line into two parts. So this formula will be used to find the middle part, to find where it divide the line. Okay, so that's why we will use this formula. So how do you use this formula? You cannot just label the ratio as m or n. Okay, so look here, the ratio they give, right, is 1 to 3, right? So let's label them as m to n. Of course, you can switch this around, become n to m, but come on, right? So you can do like that. Now, yeah. Now, the best way or the easiest way to do this is actually by by doing a twist, like doing a crisscross method. Very simple. Why did I do this, right? Because think about it. It's very easy. Look at the first equation here, right? So the 3 will time with the x value here. Okay? And then the 1 will time with the 10 value, and then it will plus. So just do one by one. Do one by one lah. It's very easy. So 3 times 2 plus 1 times 10. Right. And then over the formula is m plus n. N plus n is the ratio lah. You combine both. So over 4. Okay. And then comma. Now the right side, this is the y. This is the y coordinate for the middle part. So this one, just do the same thing. This times y now. Okay. Just do like one by one. This times y now. And then this times the other y. Okay, the other y. So it will be 3 times 5 plus 5, 1 times 5, sorry, over 3 plus 1, which is 4 lah, right? 3 plus 1 is 4. So from here, you can already see, if we solve this in here, right? If we solve this thing, we will get the x value for this part here. Okay. If we solve for this thing here, we will get the y value for the coordinate here. So let's solve the one by one. So 3 times 2, 6 plus that is 16. This will be 16. And then 16 divided by 4, this is 4. Okay. So I'm just going to clean this up. Okay, now 3 times 5, which is 15, plus 1 times 5, which is 5. So it will be 20. Okay, 20. And then 20 divided by 4, which is 5. Okay, but I'm just going to clean this out. It will become 4, 5. So the coordinate for this line divisor, right, the coordinate for this one will be 4, 5. See, very simple. So I'm just going to replace this one. But of course, this is very easy. So this won't come out in the exam, right? It's very easy. So they will try to trick you up. How? Look here. There are 4 ways that I know lah. The way that they can write the ratio. You have to pay attention here, right? So there's 3 that is very easy to understand, but there's one which is confusing. So the first way lah, they write is like this. So they say AB to BC ratio is 1 to 3. So AB to BC ratio is 1 to 3. Right? Very simple that one, actually. And the next one, they say AB to 3BC, meaning AB ratio to 3BC. Just do like common sense, right? Okay, that one is also simple. But now they say AB to 4AC. The thing that is different here and like confusing, right? So AB, look at AB. Where is AB? Let's let this, right? Let's do a straight line. Okay, this is A, this is B, right? Remember? And then this is C. Okay, they say AB to AC is 4. So AB will be 1. But then they say AC is 4. So this line here will be 4. See, the thing that is different here, you don't have this line here. You don't have this part only. But if you learn algebra, you can actually find out one. How? Just minus. See? 4 minus 1 will become 3. That's how they trick you. Okay, that's the answer. So this one, be careful. Just use common sense. Okay. Now the last one, which is also easy lah, right? Point B is 1/3 from the distance of A to C. So point B is 1/3 from the distance from A to C. So A to C, right? And it is 1/3. So 1/3 is around here, right? So that's the meaning of it. So it's very easy for you to mess up in this part here. This is the most easy. That's why I put a star here. Okay, be careful. Now I'm just gonna prioritize the typical question that come out. The typical question, right? The typical question that always come out. They have a pattern to it. Have a pattern, you know. There's typically lah. There's only 2 questions that come out for this part here. There's rarely gonna be more. If there is, that's gonna be a K-bar question. But don't worry, you just have to focus on the easy part. Okay. Now they give the coordinate of the line divisor. I don't know how to say, and you have to find the other coordinate. So what I mean by that, right? There's three coordinate, right? There's 3 coordinate, but they give you the middle one, but they didn't give you the outer one. So this one, you have to use what formula? You have to use the only formula that you know lah, which is this formula. This formula is for the coordinate of a midpoint. Not midpoint lah, because sometimes it's not mid lah, right? It will be like dividing the thing lah, right? Dividing the thing. So this is the formula. Okay, you have to use this formula and compare with this one here. So let's go through this one by one, right? So the formula is very simple. This times this, right, times x, and then this times the x. So the first one, you focus on the x. Okay, so it will be 3 times x, okay, and then plus 1 times 10, okay, 1 times 10 over the bottom one is m plus m lah, or the other one lah, right? So 3 plus 1, which is 4. Okay, now do the same thing, except you are timing the y now. Okay, you are timing the y now. It's just repeating lah, you're repeating the same thing. So now you're timing the y. So 3 times y plus 1 times 5 over 4. Okay, very simple. Do simple one. So now if you were to calculate it, it's very easy. Just use calculator lah, right? But you will see that there is two here, right? So okay, let's simplify this first so that you don't get confused. So 3x plus 10. So just write 3x plus 10 lah. No need to get confused. Over 4. Okay. 3y plus 5. Okay, 3y plus 5. Okay, so far understand, right? Very simple. But remember, just now I said that this is a comma, right? What does comma relate to? The x and y coordinate. And what x and y coordinate are we looking at? This formula, remember, this is for the line divisor or the midpoint lah. It's easy to say midpoint lah, right? It's this thing here. This tongue. It's not this tongue, but it's this thing here, okay? So that's why we can compare the value. We can compare the value. See? We can compare to 4 to 5. And then how do we compare? Just use common sense. If this is x and this is y, that means you can compare this one here with number 4. Right? You can just compare like that. Use common sense lah. Use your common sense. So let's compare them. So 3x plus 10 over 4 equal to 4. This is how you compare them, right? Now use common algebra and then just solve it, okay? So 4 move to other side, this is divide, right? Divide, move to other side, become times relationship, right? So it become 3x plus 10. 4 times 4 is 16. This one move to other side, become minus, right? It become 6, okay? 3x. So x will be 2, okay? Just divide by 3. Simple. This is x. But of course, they want the coordinate, right? They want the coordinate of this thing here, right? So of course, you can do the same thing with y. Look, you can do the same thing with y. So you can compare this y here, right, with the 5. So let's compare. So 3x plus what? Plus 5 equal to over 4 equal to what? Equal to 5. Yeah, equal to 5. You can compare. This one move to other side, 20. Okay, 3x plus 5. This one move to other side, become 3x 15. This one move to other side, become x equal to 5. Tada! And don't do this careless mistake. Don't write like this. Oh, sorry. I meant y. Sorry. I meant y. Anyway, don't write like this. Don't write like this. The answer should be in bracket form, in the coordinate form. So A will be 2, 5. And tada, you find the answer already. And to show proof lah, right? These are the lines here, right? I got from the top. See, it's the same line. So see, we got the same answer, 2, 5. 2, 5. And tada, this is the answer. You should leave the answer like this. Okay, you have to make sure you write in the correct form. So now that's the first way they can ask this question. The second way they can ask, right? They give every coordinate except the ratio. The ratio, the M and M. Okay, M and M. They didn't give you that, and you have to find it. You have to find it. Okay. So look here. This is the same from the top lah, right? The top, but of course we're not going to use it, right? So they did not give M and N, and you have to find it. Okay, you have to find it, and they want it in this form here. So M to N. So how do you do this? Remember, there's only one formula, you know, right? This formula you can use everywhere. Okay, and that formula you have to think when to use this formula. Whenever they give you a midpoint or a line divisor coordinate. Okay, if they give you this, you can think of the formula. Oh, the formula, that formula, right? So the formula is what? Remember, this times the x value first, and then this times the x value first. Always times the x value first. So it will be n. Either way can lah. Either way can. I'm just gonna do from left to right. Right. M times 10 plus n times 2. Right. Over the bottom one will be the ratio plus, but there's a number, right? So just write as m plus n. Okay, and then comma. Don't forget this comma. Okay. Now do the same thing. Do the same thing, except this time you're gonna times with the y. Okay, you're gonna times with the y. Sorry, not that one. The y. Okay. So the y will be m times 5 y here plus n times 5 again over m plus n. Okay, very simple, very simple. Now, again, remember this formula is for what? The line divisor, right? So you have to compare it with this coordinate here. Why? Because this is the x and this is the y, right? So you can compare it. It's very easy actually, very easy. So let's write 4, 5. So we can compare with that. So let me simplify this first. So M10, oh my god, sorry. So M10 plus N2. So this one will be 10M plus 2N over M plus N. Okay. This one will be 5M plus 5N over M plus N. Okay. Equal to 4, 5. Okay. Very simple, right? Now, you can choose either one. I'm going to choose this one here. Right. We can compare this with the value of 4. So let's compare. So 10M plus 2N over M plus N equal to 4. We can move this thing to the right side, and you have to move the whole thing. Remember, this is a bracket, right? So we have to move the whole thing. It becomes 4M plus N, right? And then 10M plus 2N. Okay, so far understand, right? But you have to expand the bracket here. Okay, so you expand the bracket. So 4 times M, 4M. 4 times N, 4N, right? And then 10M plus 2N. Okay, so now you just have to simplify. Just gather to is spot lah, right? So I'm just going to move all the m, right? All the m to the left side. So 10m and 4m, this one can move to the other side, become minus. So 10 minus 4 becomes 6m. Okay. And then the n, I'm going to do the same thing. This. So 2n move to other side, become minus 2n. So 4 minus 2 become 2n. Okay. And then you can divide by 3. Why? Divide by 2, sorry. Divide by 2. Why? Because they can both divide by 2 lah, right? So it become 3m equal to n. Okay. But is this the answer? No. You know why? Because whenever we have a ratio m to n, right? The symbol here is dot, right? And if you learn, dot or the ratio, right, can be changed into fraction. So let's change it into fraction. It becomes m over n, right? Okay, just in case you guys don't understand, right? If I were to have 1 to 4, right, 1 to 4, I can actually change it into fraction. No, it will be 1 to 4. This is the fraction. Just change this into a fraction and then just move it around. So that's all. Yeah, that's all. So if I were to change it, it become mn, right? That means we want a fraction form. We just want a fraction form. Is this a fraction form? No, right? So we can technically do, we want the n on the bottom, right? We want the n on the bottom, right? So we can move this to the right side. Okay, it become n over m 3. Okay, so far understand, right? But you can see here, does this look the same? No, right? It doesn't, right? Because why? The n is on the top, right? This is the on the top, right? So for you to change it, right? First of all, you have to understand the 3, right? Is actually 3 over 1. Right? Very easy, lah, right? Now, why did I do this? Because, right, you can actually swap the place so that the other can also swap the place. So what I mean by that? So if I were to move the 3 to 1, right, 3 over 1, to become, let's write here, to become 1 over 3, right, that means I swap the place, right? So the other side of the equation will also have to swap. So it become m over n. And tada, you already found the ratio. And then look here, remember, this is fraction, right? This is fraction. Fraction can be turned into ratio. So let's turn this into ratio. It becomes 1 to 3. Tada! Simple. That's the answer. Okay. So the thing that students actually get confused is this part here, right? They don't know where to go from here. So just think logically. They want m to n. So turn this into fraction first. So m over n. But then if you get stuck, just think outside the box. You can turn this number into fraction. And then you can swap the place. Okay, you can swap the place. And then you will get 1 to 3. Of course, be careful here. If they say n to m, if they say n to m, it will be opposite. It will be 3 to 1. Just use common sense, right? Because 1 to 3 is for m to n, right? If n is 3, then n also has to be 3, right? So far understand? It's very easy, right? Very easy. Now, the next part, you're going to learn a new formula as well. So this one will also involve in a line lah, a line. They like to ask this question. So focus here. So you are given this formula, right? Where is this formula? This formula, right, is, okay, what is m? M is gradient, in case you did not know, right? So gradient. But they give you 2 gradient. So this will be gradient 1. This will be gradient 2. Okay. So that means you have to have 2 line with gradient, right? So that you can use it actually, right? But why this formula actually for? This formula is to look to see whether 2 straight line is perpendicular to each other. What is the meaning of perpendicular? Perpendicular means, right? Imagine you have a straight line, right? And also another straight line. The straight line, right, will be 90 degree of each other. Okay? Perpendicular is 90 degree. That's all. Very simple, right? So they want to ask, is this perpendicular? If you want to know, you have to times both of the gradient, this first gradient, and also this the second gradient, right? You have to times, and then you will get -1. If you get -1, you will get a perpendicular. line. Okay, you have a perpendicular lah, right? That's all. So look here, right? Look here. So they give you two line here, right? Two straight line from here to here, and also from here to here. Right, very simple, lah, right? They ask you, is this two line perpendicular? Yes. You know why? Now, first of all, you have to use the formula, right? And the formula want what? M, right? And where can you get the M? In case you forgot, y equal to mx plus c. So the m will be the gradient, okay? Keturunan dia. So if you want to find the m, you have to make y alone. Remember? Y alone. So look here, is y alone? No, right? Y is not alone. So you will have to leave y alone. So how do we do that? So I will just move around the 3x, negative 3x to the other side, okay? It will be very simple. So y equal to 3x minus 5. Okay, this is the first thing. Now, let's look at this one here. Can you change into y equal to mx plus c? Yes, you know why? Because you can just leave y alone. Okay, so how to leave y alone? So do one by one, right? So let's move all the stupid thing to the other side, right? Okay, I don't call them stupid, right? But you can move them to the other side. So let's move them to the other side. So it become 3y equal to, this one will be 12, right? This one will be negative x. Okay, but I don't want the x here, lah, right? So that why? Because remember, y equal to mx plus c. Look at where the x is located at. Okay, x is located at near the equal sign. So let me just move it to the front. Okay, even though like it look ugly, lah, right? But you will understand soon. Okay. Now, are we finished? No, because why? We want to find alone y, right? Is this y alone? No, yes, it's body here, which is the 3, right? So we have to move the 3 to other side. So this is times, right? If you want to move to other side, become divide, right? So which one do you divide? All. Okay, don't forget to divide by all. So y equal to, this one negative lah, right? Negative x over 3. Okay. 12 divided by 3 become 4. Okay, right. 3, 6, 9. Yeah, should be 4. So, of course, you can just leave it here, right? But I would prefer to change into simple form. You know why? Because we want the m here, right? Do we see the m here? Yes, lah. But it's easier for us to change it. So I'm just going to change this into negative 1 over 3 x. See. This one is necessary, lah, right? So that it's easier for you to see. Of course, you don't have to do this, lah. You can just leave it like this, lah, right? But it's better, okay? It's better. So now you got two equations with the y being alone. Okay. Now they ask you, is it perpendicular? The answer is yes. You know how to prove that? You just have to times with the m. Remember, this is the mx, right? Mx plus c. So you just have to times with the 3. With this negative 1 over 3. Okay, that's why I leave it alone. Okay, that's why I leave it alone. And you should get negative 1. So you don't believe me? So m1, m2 equal to negative 1. So just now is 3, right? And also negative 1 over 3, right? That's the next gradient, negative 1. So let's see here. Let's see, is this negative 1? So 3, 3, cancel. Okay. So you are left with negative 1. Ta-da. See? That means these two lines are perpendicular. Okay, perpendicular. But what if they also said, right? What if they also said the line is parallel? Parallel. What is the meaning of parallel? Parallel means the gradient, right, is the same. Okay, the same. So meaning, right, common sense lah. If you look at this side, right, and then you see another straight line, right? If they have the same gradient, it is parallel. Okay lah, this terrible drawing lah, right? But it should be the same gradient. Okay lah, let me draw better. Should be like here to here. Yes, that look nicer. So that means the gradient will be the same, same. So if this gradient here, right, the gradient here is 2, that means this gradient is also 2. Okay, why is that important? Because, right, we want to know the gradient of a certain line without looking at the equation, right? So that we can immediately come up with the equation for them. You probably don't understand what I'm saying, but don't worry, later we'll understand. So far very easy, right? Now, let's do this typical question. There's two typical questions that they always ask in the exam, right? Which is these two here. So given two equations, of straight lines are perpendicular, find the value of k. So read the question again. Given two equations of straight line are perpendicular. So perpendicular, what is the meaning? Just whenever you hear perpendicular, that means the m1 times m2 equal to -1. Always do this so that you remember, oh, it's perpendicular. Oh, okay. So yeah, always do this. Now find the value of k. Where is k? K is here. Right. So they give you one equation, they give you another equation, and they ask you to find the perpendicular. So always, if you are involved with this question or any question actually, right? Even the chapter 6, right, which is the linear law. Later you're gonna learn, right? Linear law is very hard, right? But you always have to change it into y equal to, okay, y equal to mx plus c. You have to change it into y, y equal to. You have to make y alone. So always think of making y alone. So look here, is y alone? No lah. Look, this one is not alone. This one is also not alone, right? So let's do this first. Right? This one very easy, yeah. Don't be afraid to change this. So first of all, y is here, right? So to make it alone, you have to throw away the unnecessary thing, lah, right? Which is x over 3. You don't need that, right? So y over 9 equal to negative x over 3 plus 1. You just throw this to the right side. This is plus, right? So move to the right side, become minus. So that's why you become minus. Now, are you finished here? No, because why? Y over 9. Y over 9 is not alone. So you have to get rid of the 9. So 9 is what? It's divide, right? It's divide. So to move to the other side, become times. But what do you times with? The whole thing, the whole thing. So for you to do that, let's do one by one. Let's do one by one. So 9 times negative x over 3 plus 1. So 9 times negative x over 3 will become 9x over 3. Right. But can you cancel out? Yes, of course. You can cancel out. This will become 1, this will become 3. So it will be negative 3x. Okay. So far very easy lah, right? 9 times 1. Okay, 9 times 1. 9 lah. Right. And then y. Tada, you have your first equation. That is actually like simple. Now, this one here, this one very simple, right? You want to make y alone, okay? The only thing that is obstructing it, obstructing you is the k. So you have to move to other side. This is times, right? To move to other side, become divide, right? But what do you divide with? The whole thing, the whole thing. So if you were to divide, it become 2 over k. Okay, minus 7 over k. Okay, very simple. Now, this is very simple, right? Now, just now you see, right? I only separate the 2 from the x. See, if you were to do that, right? 2x, right? Divided by k. It will look like this, right? But I immediately separate the x. Why? Because I want to make it easy for myself so that I know this is m, this is x. I know this is c, and I know this is y. So that's why I separate the m from the x. Or else, right? If I were to write like this, right? 2x over k. Do you can is it easy to see the m? No lah, right? So that's why I prefer to separate them. Okay, very easy. Now, after we separate them, right? Is this the final equation? Yes. You know why? Because it's already one y, right? It's alone. So tada, you finish this thing here. Now you can actually answer the question. Now they ask you find the value of k. Very simple, right? So for you to find the value of k, for you, it's probably like hard lah, right? Very hard to do now, right? But remember, you just learn a new formula. That formula is this formula here, right? So you will try to apply this formula here. So how to do it? This thing here times this thing here will become -1. So how do you do that? Very easy. So yeah. Okay. -3, right? -3 times 2 over k. And they say this is perpendicular. This is perpendicular. That means it's already equal to -1. So you can equal it to -1. Okay. Just now I didn't equal to -1, right? Why? Because they didn't know whether it's perpendicular or not, right? So this one we do know is perpendicular, so we can use this. Now, just solve like normal, right? So -3 times 2 become -6 over k, right? Of course, don't put the negative there. Equal to -1. Okay. K move to other side. Why? Because this divide, right? I want K alone, right? So K move to other side become times. So 1 times K, K. Okay. But negative, so negative. Okay. And then you're left with -6. So K is actually 6. Okay, just get rid of the negative. So K is 6. But just to prove whether K is 6 or not, right? If you were to put K into 6, right? 6 here. 6, right? This will be 1/3, right? 1/3. 1/3 times -3. So 1/3 times -3, it become -1. Ta-da! That means they are perpendicular. Okay, they are perpendicular. So of course you don't need to prove this, right? But you can do like that. Okay, the last part for today before I move on to the other chapter. So you will learn this formula here, right? This formula, point slope formula. Okay, first of all, this formula you can use it if you want to, but if you don't like memorizing new formula, it's fine. You can use the traditional method. But I prefer if you use this formula. So what is this formula actually? This formula, right, is when you are given an M, okay, and you are given a coordinate, okay, a coordinate touching the line. So why is this formula useful? Because you can immediately find the equation. Easily, you can immediately find the equation, the straight line equation, which is the y equal to mx plus c, right? So you can immediately find the equation just by having the gradient, and also the coordinate. So, uh, sorry, Umar, I didn't see. What part you didn't understand? I didn't see the message just now. Sorry. Umar, 11 minutes late. I didn't see the message. Sorry. Mm, If you don't answer in 1 minute, I'm gonna continue. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Okay, she's not answering. So I'm just gonna continue, right? This formula you can use. Yeah, okay, I continue first. This formula, right? Okay, this formula you can use when you find the gradient and the coordinate. Okay, so you can, whenever you find the gradient and the coordinate, right, of the straight line, right, you can immediately find the equation here. So that's why you use this formula. This formula, I think we already learned in primary school, or like maybe like lower form, but we never use it. So that's why I also forgot this formula. Okay, don't worry. Now, why okay. Now the last topical question that they always ask. Very topical, right? This is very typical and topical and very popular. First of all, they want to ask you finding the equation of a straight line. So they give you the coordinate, they give you the gradient, and then you have to find the straight line equation. Just remember, the straight line equation is y equal to mx plus c. Don't forget, this is the straight line equation. Okay. So look here. There's a straight line, right? How many straight line? There's three, right? From C to B, B to A, E to F. Okay. And then you can see that the G is intersecting this one, right? Later we'll use it, right? So the formula they give you, right? The information that they give you, right? BC is this symbol EF. Okay. What is this symbol? This symbol. They like to use this symbol. This symbol means parallel. Okay? Parallel. So BC is parallel to EF. So BC, where's BC? So BC here, right? BC, right, is parallel to EF. Okay? EF. So that means what is the meaning of parallel again? The gradient will be the same. So did they give you the equation? Yes, they give you the equation for this straight line, right? Which is this one, right? So if you got this one, right, and then you find the gradient of this straight line here, right, you can use the same gradient value for this line here. So again, always turn it into y equal to something. Just do it. Just do it. Even if you are stuck on the question, right? Always just turn this into y equal to something. Y equal to mx plus c, right? So let's do that. Now, what are we left with? We are left with 4x here, right? We do not want the 4x, right? So we move the 4x to the next side, to the right side, become minus 4x. But we do not want x here. Why? Remember, y equal to mx plus c. x we want to be next to the equal sign, right? Equal sign. So we can move the x to the front. I know it look ugly lah, right? Because there's -4. Negative ayo. But it's fine. You have to suffer to it. just do it lah. Just do it. Okay. Now are we left? Are we left alone? No. The y is not alone, right? So we can divide by 5. Divide by 5. But divide with what? All all. Don't forget all. So do one by one. Do one by one. So -4x divided by 5 will become -4/5x, right? And you can see I already separated it, but it is actually the same as -4x divided by 5, right? I just move the x to here, okay? Plus, where's my calculator? I, I, I thought about my calculator. 70 divided by 5, 35? No? Oh, yes, here's my calculator. No. 14. Yes. 70. Sorry. My calculator was behind me. 14. Okay. So, 14. Now, we are done. Okay. The y is alone. Nice. So, now we know the gradient of this line here, right? So, CB. The gradient is what? -4/5 lah, right? -4/5. So, the gradient should be that. Now, why is the gradient important? Remember, they give you information, right? So, BC is parallel. Okay. Parallel to EF. So EF is here, right? So if it's parallel, the gradient will be the same. So you already know the gradient for this one here will be -4/5. Yeah, -4/5 for the M. So M become -4/5. Now very simple, right? Very simple. Now they ask, okay, the 2, 3, 4 is the question, right? This is the information. Sorry, I should probably not. It's probably A. But it's fine lah. It's fine. You guys understand, right? That's the information. So they ask you, what's the equation for EF? Equation straight line for EF. Okay, they want equation. Equation is y equal to mx plus c, right? So they want this equation here, but of course they do not want m and c lah, right? They want a number lah, right? So how do you do that? Okay, how to do that? First of all, you already found the m, right? So it's actually y equal to -4/5 x plus c. Right, very simple, right? But do we want to do this? No, because we do not have any useful information here, right? So what we can do, okay, there's two methods to do this, but I'm just going to show this method here first, because this is easier, right? This is easier. So just do this method here. Copy this method. So y minus y1, just in case you guys forget, the method is y minus y1 equal to m x minus x1. So what is x? What is y1? It is this thing here, right? Okay, first of all, why did I use this value here? Because this coordinate here, right? This coordinate here is touching the straight line here. Okay, I do not use the value for A, you know. Why? Look, is this touching the straight line here? No lah. No, right? So that's why I'm using this coordinate here. Okay, so this will be the x, right? This will be the y. Okay, common sense. And what is the big Y and the big X? It's actually coming from the formula y equal to mx plus c. Look, the big Y is actually the y here, and the x here is actually from here. Okay, I know lah. Just now I do like the small y, right? But it's actually like this. Yeah, I don't know why they capitalize it, but it's this way. But don't worry. So now what to do? Just substitute it. Just substitute. So you have the m here. So you substitute m as -4/5. Okay. The x, you leave x alone because you want the big X, right? The x1 will become this one here. So -20, right? There's minus here. Okay, why you write this one? Write the -1. Yeah, -1. So -1. Be careful, careful. Symbol here. So you can expand it. So become 4/5 x, right? 4/5 x minus, okay, plus, and then use your calculator. So -4/5 times -20. So you will get 16. Okay, 16. And then y plus 1. This is plus, right? Negative. So y plus 1. Are we finished? No. Because why? We have to leave y alone. So let's leave y alone. So y equal to -4/5. Okay, I'm not gonna write this big X. I'm just gonna write the small x. Okay, 16 plus, right? Move to other side, become minus. So 16 minus 1 become plus 15. Ta-da! So that is the equation. How do I get 16? Did I use it wrong? Wait. This one here. Negative 4, 5 times negative 20. Or you can do like this, negative 4 over 5, 4 over 5 times 20. Yeah, 16. Press your calculator properly. The calculator will be 4 over 5 times 20. Okay? Or like if you use negative 20. You should get the answer actually. Do you get 16? Okay, good. Be careful, don't careless mistake now. So now you get 16. Now you are left with the equation. Tada, you find the equation already. Just a short question I want to ask. So we know this is y equal to mx plus c, right? We know mx plus c. But why is the c? Why is c again? C, don't forget, c is y intercept. Okay, y intercept. That's a short reminder. Now, just now I said, right, this method, right, you can either use or not use that, right? But there's also another method to use it, which is longer. But I'm just going to explain how to use that method, just in case you guys forgot about this formula here. Even though they give you in the exam, right? Just in case you guys don't understand this formula. It's very simple, actually, very simple. So the way to use this method, right, the second method, right, is actually, you find this already, right? Now you want to find the value of c, okay? What you have the coordinate, right? The coordinate which is 20 and negative 1, right? So you have all the value except c actually. If you were to substitute x into this and y into this, you will get the value of c. So let me just go show you how to do the manual way, the original way, right? So 20 is for the x. So and then negative 1 is for the y. So negative 1 equal to, so negative 4 over 5, right? 4 over 5 and 20 plus c. So if you were to use it, right, this one will become negative 16. And then plus c, negative 1. So this one moves to other side. This is negative, move to other side, become plus. So negative 1 plus 16 is 15. Tada, you get c. Now what do you do here? You just input again. You write again. Tada, you find the value already. So you can use either method lah. You can use either method. Just in case you forgot. So you can use this method, the pink color or the red color, the pink color. So now let's do the next question here. The question number 3. Equation for AD. AD. Where's AD? Yes, AD is this one here, right? So AD. So the equation for that one. So first of all, always ask yourself whenever you see this question, right? You have to first know the chapter. So this chapter, you already know, it's coordinate geometry, right? But this chapter, what is involved? Is the main thing that you have to focus on is the gradient, right? Or the ratio. But is this about ratio? No lah, right? No. Do they give you ratio? No lah, right? So this is about gradient. So how do you focus gradient? Gradient, there's two property that you have to understand, which is the perpendicular property, right? Which is equal to negative 1, or the parallel property. Parallel property which be equal the same. So you have to focus on the gradient first, and then you think to yourself, do you have the gradient for any straight line? Of course, you have for this one, right? But do you have the gradient for this one here? Of course, you have. Why? Because this is parallel, right? But do you have the gradient for this one here? No, you do not have, right? You are confused, right? You are stuck alone, right? So what do? You go back to your first thing here and then look to yourself. What formula can we use? We can use this formula. Why? Look here. This thing they said, oh, I forgot to copy lah, right? But they said this thing here is perpendicular. They said this is perpendicular. So that means we can use this formula here to find the gradient. Always focus on the gradient. The gradient is the most important thing here. So now let's do together. Let's do together. I'm just gonna erase this part here because it's not important. So you have this, right? 18 and that one. So you have to times this one here. Oh, green color. Let me use green color. Now M1, M2, right, equal to negative 1. So what is the M that you're gonna use here? What is the M that you're gonna use? Don't tell me you're gonna use the M for this value here. Why? Why? Because you are focusing on this thing here, right? So what is actually touching the G here? Of course lah, these two here. These two here. So don't use this thing here. Don't use this thing here. I mean, but technically, if this is perpendicular, okay, if this is perpendicular, right, that means this is also perpendicular. That is a K-back question. They always give like this. They give something like this, and then they give you this is a perpendicular. But you can also think of this as also perpendicular, okay? So, but we are not focused on that. We are focusing on this, right? And where is the perpendicular touching? These two line here lah. These two line here. So don't focus on this straight line, okay? Now, so that means we are going to use the gradient for this one here. So what is the gradient for this one here? Negative 4 over 5, right? So the first thing will be negative 4 over 5. Do we know the second gradient? No lah. That's why we are trying to find the second gradient, right? And then we know they are perpendicular. So we can equal to negative 1. Okay? And then this one is what relationship? Times, right? So move to other side, become divide. Okay? Divide. So just press on your calculator. Press on your calculator. M2 will be negative 1 over negative 1 divided by negative 4 over 5. Just press on calculator. Negative 1 divided by 4 over 5. You will get, you will get negative 5 over 4. Is it? Oh, sorry, positive. Negative, right? Yeah, you get 5 over 4. Let's see here. Let's see here. If we were to, yeah, you should get 5 over 4. Because if you were to times this, okay, just to prove lah, right? If you were to times this with negative 4 over 5, let's see, 5 over 4, right? And then times with negative 4 over 5. Yeah, you get negative 1. So the M2 will be 5 over 4. So that's the gradient for the straight line. Yeah, that straight line here. So we know this gradient here, right? M is equal to 5 over 4. And we know a gradient. Okay. And we know the coordinate. Okay. So what formula can we use? The point slope formula, this formula here, right? So let's use that formula. So y minus y1 equal to mx minus x1. So we know the m is 5 over 4. 5 over 4. X, we leave it there. So what is the x value here? We take from this one. Do not take from f. Do not take from f. You take from this one here. Okay, because we are talking about this straight line, right? We are not talking about this straight line, okay? So we are going to take this one. So this is x, this is y. So 16 and 18. Sorry, 18 and 16. So 18. So y minus 16. Right? Should be that. Yeah, correct. So solve this, very simple. So 5 over 4 x, okay, minus, use your calculator, 5 over 4 times negative 18. Sorry. Yeah, times negative 18. It become negative 45 over 2. Over 2. Should be it, right? Yeah, should be that. Okay, and then y minus 16. Okay, very simple. Now you want to leave y alone now, y alone. So you have to move this 16 to the other side. This is negative 16, move to other side, become positive. Okay, so move to other side, become positive. So this one here will plus 16. So negative 45 over 2 plus 16 will become negative 13 over 2. So let me write again. Okay, and y. Ta-da, you finish. So this is the equation. Now, so far very easy, right? Now let's go into the last question, which they always ask in the KBAT. They always ask if this question come out, right? They always ask. This is very easy as well. Don't fret. Okay, don't be afraid. So do one by one with me. So they say, what is the coordinate of G? Okay, where is G located at? G is located here, right? So before we start, I'm just going to erase all this garbage here so that I can write the thing here. So let me write first 5 over x minus 13 over 2. Okay, and then this one here, the straight line should be what? What is this? Y equal to negative. Wait, sorry. 15. Okay, now let me erase. There's nothing important here. So they always ask this in the question, the last part of the question, right? They ask, what is the coordinate of G? So coordinate of G. First of all, you have to think, you have to think. What can we do here? Can we use the gradient formula? No. You know why? Because G, right? G is a coordinate. Coordinate. It's not a straight line, right? It's not a straight line. So we cannot use this formula here. We cannot use this formula. So well, what we can actually do, right? Because right, G is intersecting right between 2 point, right? 2 point. Don't worry, even if you don't understand this one, right? You can they always ask the same one. So because it's intersecting 2 point, right? Two straight line, right? Two straight line. You can actually compare the two equation to get the y and the x value. What do I mean by that? Okay, what 2 point what two straight line is it touching? This thing here, right? And also this thing here, right? So what is the equation that they give? So this one here will be this thing here, right? So let's write first. So y equal to 5/4 x minus 13 over 2. Okay. And the next equation that it is touching, right, is this one here, right? This one here. So yeah. So it's touching y equal to negative 4/5x, right? Plus 14. And if you look here, the way I arrange this, right, this means that we are doing a simultaneous equation. Simultaneous equation is very simple. Just label this as the first one, label this as the second one. In case you do not know how to do this, you probably have to study, but it's very easy, right? You just have to compare these two. You can either use the elimination method, right? Elimination method, or the substitution method. Okay, I prefer the substitution method for this one here because there's a lot of fraction here, right? So just use substitution method, alright? So for now, I'm going to use the substitution method so that we can compare the value, so that we can find the x value and also the y value. Okay, so let's substitute. So we know y is equal to this one here, right? And we know y is equal to this one here, right? So let's compare lah. So if we were to put y as equal to this thing down here, so it will be y equal to y. Huh? This will be y1, this y2. Okay, just follow me. y1, y2. So what is y1? y1, remember, it is 5/4 x minus 13/2 equal to this thing here. This is the y2. So negative 4/5 x plus 14. See, I just compare. I compare the two. So the first step, right, that we can do, right, is actually number one, compare with the number two. Okay, number two. So now you're done here, right? Now you have to solve for x. Solve for x, you have to leave x alone and then find the value of x. Is it durable? Yes, you can do that. So this one here and this one here. Let me gather those two together. So this one move to other side, become plus, right? 4/5x, right? So plus. Let me just write first. Plus 4/5 x, right? And then this one here, you can move to other side as well. So become plus, right? So 14 plus 13/2. Now, what do? You use your calculator. You just solve manually. So 5/4, 5/4 plus 4/5. This one you can, this one here, I'm looking at here. It will be 41/20 x. But I'm just going to write like this so it's very easy for you to see. Right? Equal to this one here. Just write use your calculator. 14 plus 13/2. It become 41/2. Okay. Now we can use common sense or use the butterfly method, which is this times this and then this times this. So you will get like a butterfly. This is a very primary school, right? But yes, you can do that, right? So 41 times 2, 41 times 2, this one here, 41 times 2 will be what? Let's use calculator. It will be 82. Yes, 82x. 41 times 20 will be become 820. Okay, and then you divide by 82 on both sides, right? So it will become x is equal to 10, right? You already found the value of x, but you want the y value, right? So let's substitute this into any substitutes here. Let's do that, right? So we can substitute. So substitute number 2, right? Number 2, substitute x equal to 10 into number 2, I guess. We can use number 2. So, no, let's use number 1. Number 1 is easier. So, y equal to 5 over 4 x plus or minus, minus 13 over 2, is it? Yeah, 13 over 2. So, let's do this one. X is 10. 5 over 4 times 10, okay, minus 13 over 2, okay, and y. So 5 over 4, 5 times 10, 50 divided by 4, 1.5, 25 over 2, minus 13 over 2, 25 minus 13, it becomes 12, 12 over 2, which is 6, okay, so y is equal to 6, but do we leave our answer there? No, because why? We are trying to find the coordinate, right? Coordinate is what? So the final answer you have to put like this, g bracket the x here and the y here 6, and tada, that is how you solve this question here. That is why it is highlighted. Okay, this question is popular as well. So very easy to understand, right? So I hope you understand what I'm trying to teach here. It's very simple, right? So why should we compare equation 1 and equation 2? Okay, good question actually. Now let me answer this, right? Because I think I know lah why. Because first of all, we know, right? We know G is touching 2 point, right? 2 point. Right, 2 point. That means the coordinate for G, which is what? I forgot. 10, 6, right? 10, 6. 10, 6. If you were to apply this coordinate, right, to the y equal to mx plus c for both of these, right? For both of these equation, right? You should get the same answer based on my knowledge, right? Based on my knowledge. So if you were to apply, so 10, 6 here, let's apply 10, 6 here, right? So this will be 6, negative 4 over 5, 10, right? 10 plus 14. So negative 4 over 5, negative 4 over 5, okay. Negative 4 over 5. I'm not sure whether I'm correct or not. Okay, plus 14. So you should get 6 is equal to 6. That means the first equation, it works. Okay, it works. Now the second equation, because we compare this one, right? Now the second equation, this one, right? Just now I use this one. So if you were to input this value into this one here, we should also get an equal value. So y is 6, negative 4 over 5, x is 10, right? 10, and then plus 15. This should equal to 6 as well, based on my knowledge. So negative 4 over 5 times 10 plus 15. This one should be, wait, what? Yeah, correct lah. Should be 6. Am I doing wrong? Sorry. Negative 4 over. I forgot. Because right, this is parallel, right? This is perpendicular, right? So this one will be negative 1 lah, right? But it's correct lah. Yeah. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? I am crazy. You get 7. Why? But based on what I understand, right, it's because this point here, right, is touching two equation. Is touching two equation. This point is touching two equation. The equation which is involved with this line here and also this line here. So that's why I compare the two value here. I'm not sure why, but that should be it. That should be the answer. Yeah. Oh, I understand now. Yeah, I use this one. That's why. Sorry. If you were to use this one, why I use this one? See, my sorry. So this one 6. Yeah, 6 equal to 5 over 4. 5 over 4, 10 minus 13 over 2. Okay. 5 over okay. Let's do. Let's do. Okay. Minus 13 over 2. Yes. Finally. This is equal to 6 as well. There you go. Sorry for my mistake. Yep. So you can see, right? Both of these equation, right? If you were to input the value of the coordinate, right, you will get the same value. The same value. That means the G coordinate, right, is applicable to both of them. So you can actually compare them. You can compare them. So understand? Sorry, sorry for my mistake there. So just so that it's easier for you to understand, like, why we compare, because G is touching 2 points here that we want. So that's why. Now we are finished with coordinate geometry. But of course, this is the part one, right? The part two, we will cover the area of polygons and equation of loci. This one very easy, very easy. They sometimes ask that, most of the time they ask for this one here. They ask for what is the equation of loci. Loci, right? Just in case you guys forgot, loci is a circle, right? But loci is involved in a graph. Okay, in a graph. That means you can see like the circle is in a graph. So they want to ask you, what is the formula? What is the equation of a circle? Yeah, that's loci. That's all. And then the area of polygon. By polygon, it's not talking about this polygon. It's not talking about this polygon. It's talking about a polygon inside a graph. Uh, Again, this is about graph, right? Don't forget. So if you were to have this area here, right? This area, they ask you, what is the area of this? So you will learn how to do that later. That's all for today class.